in the very beginning of my career, I had the pleasure of watching a gentleman by the name of Tim Saunders present at a convention. At the time, he was the chief solutions officer for Yahoo. He now has gone on to have a very successful consulting business. He wrote a book back in the early 2000s called Love the Killer App. I have multiple copies in my office, and it's a book that really defined the way that I approach my business. And what I loved about this is that even though it's app is in the title, this was before social media, before smartphones really, and the whole concept was really about collaboration. It said we were coming out of a time period in which the sales industry was about the sharks and the barracudas and what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And we don't do that.
Yeah.
And he said, what if we work together? What if we collaborate? What if we set ourselves to a point that we work together? Because you know what, Brooke, if you're successful and I'm around you, I honestly believe that's going to raise me higher and not. So the collaboration is a huge component to it. Also, the experience, right? There are very few things that you and I and the rest of the team haven't seen.
Right.
So especially as a, when you're in a buyer or a seller in a market where it all feels new and scary, right? What we're dealing with now, the multiple bids, all of that, having the ability to go in and say, well, gosh, between all of us, we've got about 75 years of experience.
She just aged just really fast there.
I'm going to book my hair coloring appointment next. But, we've been through the housing crisis. I entered this business post 9/11. We've been through the inflation. We've been through the mortgage, the wars overseas, the COVID crisis, the social rioting, all of that. We've seen what's happened in all of those things and the timelines and how it's impacted. There's very few things that shock us at this point in time, and the ability to have that experience or to understand the inventory and the market. I always laugh because I see something come on and I go, well, gosh, I've either shown it, sold it, or passed on it probably at some point in my life. And there's a lot of houses in Chicago, but just having that level of experience, that collaboration, and let's not also talk about the fact in a market like this where it's so cutthroat and competitive, timing is everything. Mm-hmm. The ability to have people to lean in on that we trust is in every client's best interest, because I've been able to do a lot of successful things in this market. I have not been able to duplicate myself in two places at one time. And there are instances in which it happens. So being able
We just duplicated ourselves.
times two. But there's so many, there weren't teams when I started in the business, right?
That was a new thing that started.
You maybe got a mentor.
It started in 2008, I think. Maybe a little before that. It was just starting to take off.
I'm going to give Dave Hanna a big shout out, right? He was my mentor. I think most of that mentorship was basically him yelling at me, telling me, what are you thinking? And then me coming back to him 3 days later, explaining what I had processed. But the idea of that has changed a lot. So even we do have a couple of agents on the team that are growing from a newer perspective, but they're going out and they're taking their eagerness with our experience and really able to launch themselves in a way better career. Because I tell you, there's a lot of things going out there today that I would not want to be advising on or working with somebody that didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, if you're a newer agent today, I honestly don't know how you make it without mentorship. Like, the market is intense. Putting deals together a lot of time is based on reputation, how long you've been in the industry, because the other side wants comfortability that if there's 10 offers, just because they're taking yours, they want it to get to the closing table. It doesn't matter what you put on paper if you can't get your client to the closing table.
It's so true. It's so true.
And navigating all the legal changes that are happening in our world.
No, but it's so true. And that's one of the reasons that we work so hard. Trust me, there are certain times when we just want to blow our lid because of the way another agent is acting. But we bite our tongues and we play nice so that once again, the next time we're up against 6 other offers and that agent's the decider, that we're trying to make sure that we're getting really focused on, and because of our reputation, people know that our deals tend to be good deals because our clients are well educated, well advised, and we have very few things that we can't figure out the navigation of.
Yes. So switching gears here, let's get into the big topic, NAR, the settlement, the confusion. What does it mean for our business? What does it mean for us as agents?
You went there, didn't you? where everybody was playing so nicely. And then we want to talk about
Let's open the curtain on this topic.
The National Association of Realtors has a big lawsuit that they are working through a settlement on. But this is something that is making huge news, rippling our industry, causing a lot of confusion with consumers.
And let me jump in. A lot of misinformation in the news.
Tons.
So I think we, especially you, are here to help clarify that, because there's so many inaccuracies right now. So bring us full circle on that.
The concern is that there is some unethical behavior with the way the commission structures are being put out there now, or were being put out there, especially with regards to how buyers agents were compensated and how that compensation was advertised. Right now, I think the biggest thing to understand on this is that, is this going to have an impact on our industry? Yes. Is this going to have an impact on us? My gut is not too much. The reality is that, yes, there are always people in a certain industry that are not doing things properly, right? It's true, whether it's real estate, whether it's mortgages, whether it's attorneys,
doctors.
Every world has its bad seeds. But the reality is that the top of our industry has been practicing it very ethically and very transparently for a very long time, us included. Now, is this going to force us to even improve and get better at what we do and get even more transparent on what we're doing for the right intentions of what we do? Absolutely. But this is something that, in my opinion, isn't going to have a huge impact on our industry, and certainly not on how we work with our clients.
I think it's going to impact sellers less, and probably buyers and the way buyers are represented in that process more. It's going to become more formal. With sellers, we always sit down and meet with them. It's a very formal process. And I feel like, yes, you and I sit down with buyers and we do make it a formal process, because that's how we run our business.
That's what we do.
But most agents don't run that side of their business in a very formal way. And we've run into that a lot. So I think that's a good change that's coming to our industry.
I agree so much, right? You and I have both been through so much adversity in this market. Yes. In this business, right? We have faced it head on. And I think we can both agree, every time we face something like this, we emerge on the backside better. We do what we do better, and we're more seasoned and we're more articulate, and we are able to stand up for what is in the best interest of our clients even better. And so I look at it and I say, you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
We have to evolve with change. Right. And people fear change,
yes,
but change is great. Yeah. We've seen a lot of changes in our life. We've been through a lot of, 2008, COVID, different political issues going on, and we always come out on the other side.